China. I am so excited to be with you. It has been quite some time since we've been together in person, and I am so excited for the day that we'll be together again when I can hug you so tight. But until then, what a wonderful opportunity for us to be gathered here today, no matter how we gather together, virtually or in person. I have seen some of the things you've gone through over the past 2 years, and I am amazed at the resilience of this market. You exemplify the doTERRA purpose. You help the world heal. Despite obstacles on a scale that we have never seen before, you have pushed forward. We have been absolutely blown away by you, by the entire Chinese market. Your determination and courage reminds me of the very beginnings of doTERRA. Born in the midst of the Great Recession, we had a million reasons to stop, but we kept going, just like you. doTERRA was born because we wanted families to have access to the most pure, most potent essential oils that Earth had to offer. In 2007, I had spent 10 years in the world of essential oils, and we knew pure oils didn't exist in the marketplace. We searched the world over to find these precious gifts of the earth, and after months of searching over 100 samples, not a single essential oil sample we received was pure. Not one. Until one beautiful day, 5 pure oils arrived, and the rest is history. Now, fast forward with me to February 2014. We had just received a sample of the most magnificent vetiver essential oil I had ever experienced. Its chemistry was so complex due to a unique distillation method. The result was an oil with over 1,000 unique molecules, and I was totally obsessed. We decided we should visit the people who had distilled this oil and come back with an exclusive contract for this gorgeous vetiver. When I arrived in Haiti, I saw poverty on a level that I had never experienced before. We drove up a rocky, bumpy road to the small village of St. Hilaire. It is here that the entire community gathered together under a small grass hut to share with us what they hoped to see as the future of vetiver harvesting. One of the community leaders took the megaphone and said, "I have a dream that someday my children will have access to water that won't make them sick." His words changed everything for us. I looked at my partner, George, with tears streaming down my face, and I saw that he too had tears streaming down his face. We knew we had to change this. This village had no access to water. In June of that same year, the first well was drilled. I will never forget the look on the community leader's face, who was assigned to taste the water to confirm it was pure enough for the villagers to drink. As he took a drink, he raised his hands to the heavens and gave thanks. I will never forget that moment. That trip to Haiti in 2014 was the beginning of our co-impact sourcing model. We knew that we needed to do what we could to help. It wasn't enough just to buy the plant material at a fair price. Our vision got bigger, to source the best oils and to help the most people. Through our sourcing and social impact efforts, we are helping the world heal. Not just in Haiti, but in Madagascar, in Moldova, Brazil, and Bulgaria, Egypt, India, Nepal, and so many other places. Today, we support social impact projects like this all over the world. One project that we are so proud of is the Sanag Specialty Hospital in Somaliland. For over 4 years, the doTERRA Healing Hands Foundation, co-impact sourcing team, local community members, the Somaliland Ministry of Health and Development agencies have worked to open a hospital in the heart of the frankincense resin harvesting area. Prior to this hospital, hundreds of thousands of people in this region had little to no access to medical care, often having to travel more than 12 hours to reach medical help. In May 2021, we opened the hospital and have provided life-saving emergency medicine, maternity, and pediatric care to remote and underserved populations. Opening this hospital was not easy. We were told it couldn't be done. but we had a responsibility to the people of this region, and we could not stand by. Since its opening, we have faced opposition and adversity. Have you noticed that every time you do good, there is some kind of adversity? We haven't let that stop us, have we? Since 2014, we have been able to help millions of people, but we are not satisfied with just celebrating our past efforts. We are thinking bigger. And so, at the beginning of this year, we announced our new mission plan. We are going to triple our impact by 2030. We are going to improve more lives, empower more people, and serve more communities around the world. We've set ourselves the ambitious goal of impacting 10 million lives through our co-impact sourcing and social impact projects. That's a big number, but we are confident. We have the ability and we have the will, but we need your help. Every person you empower with pure essential oils creates a ripple effect, changing their life, the lives of their family members, and their communities. Every oil you share impacts people on the other side of the bottle. And every donation you make to the Helping Hands Foundation allows us to support humanitarian work in communities. Helping Hands is celebrating its 5th anniversary this year. On behalf of the founding executives, I would like to say thank you and congratulations. We are gratified and humbled by how much you've embraced the doTERRA culture of caring and giving. In just 5 years, you have donated 65 million Chinese yuan. Thank you for your contributions, not just your money, but also your time spent volunteering and caring for the people around you. You are helping us change the world one drop at a time. One of the most amazing things about Helping Hands is how it brings people together. This is something that has been on my heart as I've thought about what to share with you today. Before I finish, I want to talk about connection. It has been difficult the past couple of years to feel like we are truly able to connect with other people because we have become used to being isolated. And that isolation, that lack of connection, can become a wall separating us from other people. We see their differences. We see their flaws. We see their mistakes. Too often, that is all we see because we haven't been able to connect and feel the energy and love that flows between people. When we don't connect with people, we don't understand people. We don't appreciate our differences. And we are a bridge between people. We unite people together. People are lonely because they build walls instead of bridges. One of the greatest lessons I have learned in doTERRA is to be a bridge builder. We build a bridge between Western and traditional medicine, and we're a bridge between people. I want to share a very tender story with you about my sister. In October of 2020, my mother passed away from COVID-19. This was something that was very unexpected. And for the 5 years before my mom passed, my sister and I stopped speaking to one another. There were some jealousies because I had such a close relationship with my mother. Because of the tension that had been built between us, we built up walls. I started to see her because of her flaws. She saw me because of my flaws. And we kept building the walls bigger and bigger between us. When my mom got sick and was put into the hospital, we came together and we had a conversation. And I gave her an opportunity to be able to share with me all of the frustrations that she had and all of the beliefs that she came to think about me. And she gave me the same opportunity to share my feelings. This was a 2-hour conversation. It was very tender. It was very dear. But what happened through that conversation is little by little we were able to take those bricks down and remove those walls. And for the first time in 5 years, I was able to see my sister for the beautiful, compassionate, loving human being that she is. And she was able to see me in the same light. And I wrapped my arms around my sister and I hugged her for a long time as our bodies shook and tears streamed down our face. You see, what had happened for those 5 years is we dehumanized each other. We chose to believe a different story about the other. That's what's happened as we have gone through this pandemic, is walls have come up. And we've started looking at others through a different lens. We started to believe things about them that aren't true. What happens when we are together as a human race is we get to feel the humanity of the other person. We get to love them despite their flaws. And we get to love them despite our differences. Our differences are what makes us so amazing and brilliant. We don't want the world to be full of people who are just like us. Our differences are such a beautiful kaleidoscope that make this world interesting. These misunderstandings, these walls and barriers happen in every family, in every team. We are all responding to the stress that we felt these past few years. No one is immune. I don't know what walls you have in each of your lives. I know that I've had walls that needed to come down, and I have had to make changes. I have had to be vulnerable. I think we have all pretended to be stronger than we really are. It is time to bring down the walls between one another. When that wall comes down, healing pours out. We heal in community, not in isolation. Now is the time for us to come together to heal one another. You have a part to play in this. Your family, your team, your community can't heal without you. So just as I have come with a renewed love and appreciation for my sister, and she for me, this is the healing that we want to create all over the world. But it requires that vulnerability. It requires us to get uncomfortable. It requires us to reach out and connect, to ask for forgiveness, to receive forgiveness, to create new connections, to bring new people into our community, to go and find those people that feel alone, that feel isolated, that feel unseen, that feel maybe even unworthy of love, to bring them in, put your arms around them, invite them into this healing community of doTERRA. And now is the time for us to triple our impact.